My coffee talk today is about something that's very important to me, especially in this world right now. There's so much evilness and so much violence and so much hatred. We need this reminder. We need to be reminded whose hands are we in securely, whose our trust, whose peace do we have, whose joy do we have. And there's so much evilness around us. We could just turn on the news and we'll see it. There's so much violence and hate. And even around in our lives, there's betrayal and there's deception and there's heartache and there's pain, and sometimes we need that reminder of who's our love, who's our true love, and whose love we are. And God used Psalm 63 to remind me, because I was about to be hit with something that's going to hurt. So he needed to remind me. It's not like I read the word and I know forever automatically I'm always at peace. No, I need to constantly be seeking and reminding. So when those things happened, or when I see evilness, when I see something that makes me cry because there's death around that, he reminds me that it's all in the will of God, and there's always a purpose for everything that happens in the world and that happens, around us. And we have to have that trust. And last month, in July, we're in August now. So last month I went to this video and it had Psalm 63. So I started researching it for me, for my own devotional. And I wrote it down and I bumped into a few articles that really spoke to me and I loved it. And then yesterday, this month, my co-leader for the women's group that I teach shared her devotional with me and it had Psalm 63. And I said, okay, God is reminding me, who do I need to seek? Whose hand am I holding securely? Who's the love of my life? Who's the love of your life? What does that really mean? And I invite you to look at chapter 63 of Psalms, and I'm going to read a little bit from it. And it says, I earnestly search for you. My soul thirsts for you. My whole body longs for you in this parched and weary land. Because that's how it truly is. The world is this way. Where there is no water, I thirst for you. That's how we feel. Your unfailing love, beautiful is that, your unfailing love is better than life itself. Truly is. Because humans will fail us. Their love comes and ends. His love does no end. It doesn't. It's unfailing. I will praise you as long as I live, raising my hands up in prayer. And I always say that means surrendering. So it means surrendering your fears, your doubts, your securities, your pain, anything. Especially when you turn on the news and there's so much chaos and violence. You're surrendering your trust to Him. It says, you satisfy me more than the richest feast. And He does. He wants to. It says, I will praise you with songs of joy. So notice, I'm choosing, no matter what's going around me, I'm in this parched and weary, dry land, but I'm choosing to praise you with joy. Fruits of the Spirit, with joy, I'm choosing to praise you. I lie awake thinking of you. And you know how it is when you fall in love. When something new exciting happens, when there's a new job you're about to start, or a dream of yours finally gets answered, or you are falling just in love. You lie there awake thinking of the person. You can't stop thinking of that person. And that's how this person, this Psalms is talking about God. How David chose to write about God. And that's the way we're supposed to feel. And it says, I cling to you. You strong hand holds me securely. So I grasp you and you hold me securely. You're my trust. That's so important in this world. And then after I speak of my love and how I'm looking for you and thinking of you all the time, comes this beautiful promise. It says, those plotting to destroy me will come to ruin. They will become the food of jackals. And I love that he chooses to say jackals, because if you ever seen jackals, they have sharp teeth, and the way they decide to eat, they just devour things. They rip it apart. They devour. They have no mercy when they're eating. And it says, "You will become the food of jackals." So that's pretty intense. Those are trying to destroy me. But first, I must treat God as He's the love of my life, and I must seek Him. Look at the words He uses. He says, "Earnestly." Thirst for you, long for you, clings to you. What does that mean? Earnestly is searching sincerely, intensely, with a conviction, with an intent. I'm taking my love for you, Lord, seriously. I'm going to seek you earnestly. It says, my soul thirsts for you. And thirst is a feeling of need, of want. Have you ever been thirsty for water, feel dehydrated, and it's like dry? Even when you swallow and your saliva feels so dry, you just need that. You need that to be satisfied. I'm thirsting for you, my soul, my body. My soul thirsts for you, my body longs for you. It's an intensive feeling, a craving. Have you ever craved something and you can't stop thinking about it? You almost to taste it because you're craving it. It says it's an endless, lingering, lasting need. That's longing for you. That's how I love you, Lord. Do you love the Lord that way? I want to love the Lord that way. I want to. I do want to. It says, I cling to you. That I love. It says, I hold on tightly. I clutch. I grip. I grasp. I attach myself. Have you ever given your finger to a newborn? How it just holds you tight? It doesn't even know what's going on, but it's just holding for safety. They say it's one of our instincts for safety. It's holding. That's the way we should be like babies, holding on to God, to His hand, and therefore we feel secure. We feel peace. We feel loved in return. Because notice, it's sometimes we do that. We say, God, do justice, and God, have them be destroyed. Those who are plotting, those who hurt me. Take it in your hands. Those who have deceived me. You take care of that. But are we loving God? Are we putting our trust in Him? Are we focused on that? Notice He put it into the very end. He first spoke about His love for God and how He lies there thinking and meditating on Him all night. And then He says, and He takes care of me. I trust Him, and He takes care of me. But first, I'm passionately seeking God, looking for Him, trusting Him. I'm clinging to Him. So that when this hit comes, and it knocks me out, it doesn't have me let go of Him. That's so important. Though a blow may come and a hit may come, and sometimes you see the news and fear may come. And I remind myself, no, I'm not going to be afraid. I know who I'm holding on to. And I have not let go. That's so important. Are you clinging on to Him? Is your grasp on Him? Because sometimes we worry so much about make justice and devour them like jackals. No. He says, and I send Him, or I tell God, no. He says, I'm falling in love with God. I'm just meditating on God. And you know what? That's my concern. And then He takes care of me. By the way, He takes care of me. But my focus right now is on God. That's the way we should be. Because then comes His love, His security, and His peace. And what kind of peace is that? Mind you, His love, the way I'm describing it, that's the way He wants to love you. He wants to quench your thirst. That's how amazing He is. But His peace, says John 14:27, I give you my peace, not like this world. So it's opposed to this world. When this world's in chaos, we're at peace when we trust Him. And it says, Philippians 4:7, peace from God is undescribable. It transcends all understanding. That's why people wonder, how can you be at peace? This just happened to you. How can you be okay? This is going on in the world. There's so much hatred and evilness. How can you be okay? Because we're trusting God. Because we know that nothing happens without His control and without His will. And because there's a purpose. And we know what that purpose is. We're supposed to be up in heaven, and there's supposed to be a second coming. So we know even the answers to that chaos. But only do we understand when we have His peace, like Philippians 4:7. When we seek Him earnestly, when we cling to Him, when we crave Him, when we thirst for Him, we feel His love, we feel His joy, we praise Him with joy, and we feel His peace. And then He takes care of the rest. But that's not important. What's important is feeling His love and His peace. Let Him be the love of your life so that you can be the love of His life and you're always taken care of. But notice, first, He must become the love of your life. And I hope He is. I pray that He is for me, and I'm working on that. I'm trying that so that every day I meditate on Him and I think of Him and I cling to Him and I adore Him. He is who I adore.